He reached out to me on Instagram. Listen, I talk to this brother. I interact with this brother literally daily. I interact with the brother daily. I love this nigga, man. I love this brother. So he sends me the document on the 3rd. Sources on the 14th. Here we are on the 15th. Yesterday, which was the 14th, what do you see? You have a receipt. There's a receipt from Patreon to view a post from the Sons of Thunder. Here's the receipt. I paid $16.20 to be able to review this presentation by the brothers. The brothers want an ecumenical council. The brothers want peer review. I'm their peer, and I'm here to review said documents. This is what I'm here to give you what you want, what you asked for. Like, can you please cut a brother some slack? Now, there was a live stream that took place yesterday evening on the Sons of Thunder YouTube page. Let's go to YouTube really quick.
Shalom, welcome to another video, and as always, before I get started, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash, and next double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you sincere Akim. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether people hear or whether they forbear. All right, and this lesson is going to be entitled, Buy the Truth and Sell It Not. All right, and it's inspired by watching Elder Apostle Tahar's live stream that he was going into on what's going on with the Sakari and the Sons of Thunder. All right, well, two specific people from those groups. All right, maybe not the whole groups themselves, but essentially they're going back and forth about a breakdown that Sons of Thunder, all right, has brought out. And one of the Sakari guys out of Sakari, Philadelphia, all right, I believe his name is Officer Ariala or something like that, something Ariala. He's pretty much talking about how they had put it on their Patreon, okay, and he thought that was insincere because apparently they're supposed to be doing some kind of peer review on that video, and he's charging for it. Okay, he wanted him to do a peer review on it, and and Sons of Thunder is charging for that video. Okay, and I'm not going to get into that because I don't know the full details, but the main topic I want to go into is how, as the title says, buy the truth and sell it not. We're not supposed to be. If you're a Hebrew Israelite, you really shouldn't even have a Patreon. Okay, if you don't know what Patreon is, it's a platform where you have to pay to unlock videos. Okay. If you're an Israelite and you are a teacher, okay, your videos are supposed to be free. All right. So we're going to go ahead and dive into that topic. All right. Yahweh Rajazah is edifying to the elect. Okay. So this is starting off with Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 23. All right. This is where the title of this lesson comes from. It says, buy the truth and sell it not. Also wisdom and instruction and understanding. Okay, so how do you buy the truth? You buy it with your time, your attention, all right, deep study. Okay, that's how you buy the truth. You buy something, you're giving something up, all right, in exchange for something else. So you're giving up your time, your energy, resources, all right, to be able to gain the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of this truth. Okay, to be able to do the work of the Lord. Okay, and you're not supposed to sell it for profit. Okay, the words of the Lord are not for sale. They're not ours to sell in the first place. All right, we've been given them as a gift, and we're supposed to give that gift freely. Okay, Yahweh Shai told us this in Matthew, all right, chapter 10 and verse 8. Okay, and it says, heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give. Okay, so that's what we're supposed to be doing. All right, supposed to be, doing the work of the Lord free. All right, because we received it freely from the Heavenly Father, all right, through His only begotten Son. So we're supposed to go and freely, give it out. Okay. Now, in the scriptures, you had an example. If I'll go ahead and find it right quick, you had an example of some that were selling doves. All right, in the temple. And we'll see how Yahushua reacted to that. All right, let's go ahead and find that. Okay, Mark chapter 11, and let's see, Mark chapter 11, and I'm gonna start at verse 15. All right, and this is entitled Yahushua drives money changers from the temple. Okay, Mark 11:15, it says, and they came to Jerusalem, and Yahushua went into the temple and began to cast out them that sold and bought in the temple. All right, today there's no physical temple, but who is the temple of the Lord? It's His people, His flock. All right, so He began to cast out them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves, and would not suffer that any man should carry any vessel through the temple. And He taught, saying unto them, it is written, is it not written, my house shall be called of all nations the house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. See that? Okay, and that's what, when you bring money into this ministry, all right, which, people give donations and such, and that's perfectly fine, all right, but you're not supposed to be asking for money. You're not supposed to be charging for breakdowns, Hebrew names, okay, none of these things, etc., etc. And it's funny because actually, okay, somebody commented on this video. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Somebody commented on this video, okay, and they said glass house. All right, and what is a glass house? It means one that's weak, okay, that can be easily destroyed. There's a glass house. Same guys was selling Hebrew names and prayers. All right, Sakari was doing that, if I'm not mistaken. A lot, IUIC was definitely doing that. Bishop Nate was where it originated from. All these different camps pretty much do that. Okay, we're making merchandise of the truth. All right, all you Hebrew Israelites, two Christian apologists, okay, because vocab does the same thing. All right, do it with money in sight, LOL. GMS probably the only ones that would do it as consistently for free. And here's one thing, okay, Great Millstone not only does it consistently, Great Millstone is by far the most consistent. All right, and I'm not saying that because I'm a part of Great Millstone. It's just the truth. Nobody puts up as much content and videos as the Great Millstone Brothers as a camp altogether. All right, it says GMS is probably the only ones that would do it as consistently for free. Okay, and then this is what Ariel Sakari replied. He said, yeah, GMS, the guys who teach it's okay to grape. You eat that shit up, don't you? Okay, and that's a flat out lie, and he knows that, man. But this is what they do when they can't overcome us in doctrine. All right, this is what they do. They slander. Okay, we're not, and what we're doing, what I'm telling you, is not slander. All right, you can see in the clip that I played in the beginning of this video that they have a Patreon and they promote it on their channel. Well, what are they selling on their Patreon? Okay, and really, like I said, you're not supposed to be making merchandise of the flock. All right, if you're an Israelite and you're supposed to be giving out information, it's supposed to be for free. All right. But the Lord is separating, because notice one thing, the Lord, all these other camps, they congregate together because they all come in that same spirit, even if they have different doctrines. All right, Great Millstone separates itself for that exact reason, because Great Millstone is separate. All right, we don't do the same things that these other camps do. All right, which me personally, I didn't even know Great Millstone had existed. I came across Sakari, IGPK, and IUIC before I really came into the truth, and I knew that something wasn't right. And that was my spirit, the water Yahweh Bashar on shot for that, picking up on the fact that, like I said, a lot of these different guys, they're not sincere. That's what it comes down to. But he said, like I said, the guy, he rebutted by saying, yeah, GMS, the guys who teach it's okay to grape. And they know that's not true. They know that we don't teach that. We don't tell anybody to go and do that. But the infamous breakdown of Deuteronomy 22nd chapter, which all these guys are offended at the word. All right. And Sakari, not only that, they're the same guys that well, I'm not going to say all of them, but Gorilla Hebrew, I believe it was, so that Yahushua didn't need to be worshipped. They teach with hats on. All right. The Israelite rap, just a whole bunch of folly going on. But, the Lord is exposing this. So anyways, I don't want to make this is not a, It's not a video about them in particular. It's just about, once again, not making merchandise of the truth. Okay, the truth is supposed to go out for free. All right. So I'm gonna go back and read that again. Okay, Mark chapter 11 verse 15 through 17. All right, and they came to Jerusalem, and Yahushua went into the temple and began to cast out them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables. So he was pissed. All right, overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves, and would not suffer that any man should carry any vessel through the temple. And he taught, saying unto them, Is it not written, My house shall be called of all nations the house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves? Okay, so that's exactly what these different camps are doing, man, and the Christian apologists too. All right, okay, so everything's about making money. Subscribe to the Patreon, hit the Cash App, family. All right, all that nonsense. Okay, let's go to Micah the 3rd chapter, and I'm gonna go down to verses. I'll start at verse 9. Okay, Micah 3:9. It says, Hear this, I pray you, ye heads of Jacob, ye heads of the house of Jacob, and princes of the house of Israel, that abhor judgment and pervert all equity. They build up Zion with blood and Jerusalem with iniquity. All right, how do you do that? By teaching these different false doctrines. A lot of these Israelite camps have 501c3 charters, man. Okay, and they teach. If you teach any doctrine that's false, okay, you're essentially, all right, you are giving your flock dirty, filthy garments. Okay, they're not, because the white garments spoken of in Revelation represents the righteousness of the saints. All right, and that comes from the truth. Okay, you gotta be sanctified with the truth. Clothe yourself in the truth. All right, so if you have any leaven in your doctrine, what does 1 Corinthians the 5th chapter say? It says, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. Okay, so you build up Zion with blood and Jerusalem with iniquity. You build them up with evil, wickedness, and eventually, it's going to lead to their death. All right, because you're giving them filthy garments. You're giving them, what's the one I'm looking for? You're giving them false teachings. All right, and covering them with the wrong covering, all for filthy lucre's sake. All right, verse 11, it says, Their heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire. See that? And the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet would they lean upon the Lord and say, Is not the Lord among us? None evil can come upon us. So they think that they're going to be covered in Jacob's trouble when the Lord is obviously, not down with you making merchandise of the truth. All right, it says, verse 12, Therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest. Okay, especially camps like IUIC, teaching the wrong name, teaching against the mark of the beast, and many other weird, bugged out false doctrines that all the Israelites are going to come out of America, Babylon the Great, are going to make it out of this place. Okay, these are straight up just heresies. All right, it's straight up false doctrines, man. Okay, and you're going to have a lot of blood on your hands. All right, and it's all for money. That's a sad thing about it. All right, okay, let's get this right quick. 1 Timothy chapter 6. 1 Timothy chapter 6, and I'm gonna get verse 9. It says, But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. Okay, so why? How is it? Is it a trap and a snare? Because you're teaching false doctrine because you have a 501c3 charter. You have a government contract, tax exemption status, to where is all the money that you get to keep the vast majority of it as long as you do what they tell you to do. All right, and you see it. Okay, I did a video some months back. Maybe I'll repost it. Okay, you had one body. Used to be one body in Yahushua. Okay, they got rid of the name Yahushua. Now they're just one body. All right, and all of a sudden, okay, public record, they got the 501c3, and they got a $4 million revenue. All right, for that year. Okay, that's not a coincidence. All right, the Most High sees you. It says, verse 10. It says, For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith. Okay, so now you're preaching in error, and the Spirit of the Lord is not on you. All right, you got left-hand spirits on you that have deceived you to make you think that you still serving the Lord, even though you're clearly making merchandise of his truth. And that's why these false doctrines are coming out. These false doctrines are signs to warn the flock, all right, of who's who. Okay, stay away from these guys. The only ones who are going to get caught up with these different groups are guys who think the same way that they do. All right, continuing on though, it says, and pierce themselves through with many sorrows, because that's what's getting ready to happen. When Jacob's trouble hits, you guys are going to be, okay, you're going to be in bad case, because once again, you got a lot of blood on your hands, and you're going to know that the Lord is not going to protect you. All right, and then you're going to be trying to, I watch it happen. A lot of guys going to be trying to, come to GMS or try to act like they was with us the whole time. Nope, no, we don't want nothing to do with you. You're considered unclean. All right, and it's not because you're in a different group. It's because of your doctrine. All right, your doctrine is unclean. We don't want nothing to do with false doctrine. That brotherhood over breakdowns, that's nonsense. Okay, and like I said, a lot of these guys, really, you're just offended at the word. All right, you're offended at Yahweh Shai, and that's why you're offended at us. Like with the whole the grape thing. Okay, once again, nobody teaches that it's okay to go out there and do that. All right, all that GMS had brought out was that according to the law, this is the way that it's supposed to be handled if this does occur. But do not the scriptures also say in Romans the 13th chapter, all right, to obey the laws of the land? Yes, it does, and that's what we teach. That's the reason why, as much as they like to try to pin that false allegation against us, all right, there's not anybody that's in Great Millstone that has been accused of it and went to jail for it or any of that. Okay, if we were teaching that, don't you think that a lot of Great Millstone members would have been locked up by now? All right, but anyways, let's keep going. We'll close out in just a sec. All right, I want to get this Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 23. All right, it says, "Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds." Okay, so who is the flocks? That is the believers, the hopeful elect. We got to be diligent to know the state of thy flocks. And how do you do that? You got to make sure they're well fed, make sure they're taken care of, all right, until the chief shepherd appears. Okay, and how do we do that? By feeding you with good spiritual food, not GMO. Okay, not putting plastic in your feed. All right, so we feed you with good spiritual food, sound doctrine, sound meaning healthy. Okay, healthy foods. We're gonna feed you with a nice balanced plate. All right, of you got some steak, you got your vegetables, you got your fruits, you got a little bit of carbs in there. Everything perfectly balanced the way that it needs to be, and that's it. You don't need to add anything else to this. That's another thing. You don't need gimmicks. You don't need to add anything else to the scriptures. The Lord, he set up his meal. He set up his plate exactly as he wants it to be. He's given us a table, and he's supping with us. Okay, he's giving us the spiritual food that we need to be able to feed the flock. Okay, we don't need to add anything to it. All right, it's already seasoned perfectly. Everything's just the way it needs to be. Okay. All right, we'll close out with this last one. Okay, John chapter 10 and verse 11 through 15. All right, this is Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, "I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep." Okay, the good shepherd doesn't have to be paid to do anything. He just does it. Okay, he just does it because he loves the sheep. But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, all right, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming and leaveth the sheep and fleeth. And the wolf catcheth them and scattereth the sheep. Okay, and how have you left the flock? Because you left sound doctrine for filthy lucre's sake. And now you're allowing the wolf, which is Esau, to devour the sheep by pushing out these false doctrines. All right, and you're down with it. Okay, you're pretty much what you've done in the spirit is you've allowed the wolf to come in, and the wolf says, "Hey, I'll give you a couple $100 for those sheep over there. Let me eat a couple of them." And you say, all right, give me 1,000, and you can take the sheep. That's pretty much what you've done, because you're a hireling. You never cared about the sheep in the first place. You're only out there for your own self-interest. Verse 13, "The hireling fleeth, because he is an hireling and careth not for the sheep. I am the good shepherd, and know my sheep, and am known of mine." Okay, so Yahweh Shai is the good shepherd. All right, he knows his sheep, and his sheep know him. Okay, and they know who the true men of the Lord are, because we're coming in that spirit of Yahweh Shai. We are the little shepherds, the mini shepherds, until the one true great shepherd comes and delivers his flock. Okay, we're just watching over his merchandise. All right, when I say I'm not talking about for sale. I'm talking about watching over his goods, his people, his flock, his beloved possessions. Okay, until he returns. All right, and we're supposed to do that for free. It's not supposed to be paid. All right, if you do that, if you're a hireling, then what are you going to do? If somebody comes with a better deal for you, you never cared about the sheep anyways. So you're going to take that Judas purse and give the sheep up. And that's essentially what a lot of these different camps have done. But are people too simple to realize that? Okay, so I'm going to close out with that. Our Yahweh righteous, I mean the Heavenly Father's will. It was edifying. And as always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. And until next time, Shalom and abide with Baal.